Every leader eventually hits the wall, the sales wall, the staffing wall, the we can't get parts for 6 weeks wall. And when you run into that wall, your brain just screams, something's wrong. Quit, stop, give up, pivot. But here's the truth. The wall that you keep hitting, that's not the end of the road. It is the road. The wall isn't the enemy. The wall is the way. The wall is the workout. The wall, if you let it sharpen you, becomes the weapon. I'm Chris Hunsicker, and this is the Dealership War Room. Leadership fire, 7 minutes, built daily, fueled intentionally, and delivered relentlessly. And today, we're going to dive in on how the wall can become your weapon. So let's get started. Walls are built into leadership, and you don't need to avoid them. You need to train for them. When sales plateau, the wall is showing you that your process is maxed out. When your people stop listening, the wall is exposing the limits of your influence. When the market shifts, the wall is showing you where you've been coasting. The wall is feedback. It's curriculum. It is literally resistance training for leaders. Most people treat the wall failure. They bounce off of it. They fight against it. They complain about it. But grit-driven leaders, they understand the wall is the workout. Just like the gym, the rep that burns, the weight that's almost too heavy to lift, the sweat that makes you want to quit, that's the rep that builds the muscle. The wall that makes you want to fold is the exact wall that forges your leadership strength. And here's the upgrade. The wall doesn't just strengthen you, arms you. And the wall that trains you today becomes the weapon that you can wield tomorrow. That painful customer blow up teaches you calm under fire. That is a weapon. That failed rollout teaches you patience and iteration, and that is a weapon. The conflict on your team teaches you to master communication, and that is a weapon. Think about it this way. Once you make this shift, the same walls that used to knock you down now become the very edge that you fight with. It's your advantage. So if you find yourself stuck and trying to create a breakthrough and you just can't get that breakthrough, this is one of my all-time favorite frameworks that I share and that I use it with all my elite coaching clients. And it simply comes down to this. This is the framework. Identify the wall, then what's the work that needs to be done? What's the weapon that we're going to forge? And what's the way forward? Wall, work, weapon, way. This is how it works. Number one, hit the wall. Resistance is normal. Number two, do the work. Lean into the discomfort. And number three, forge the weapon. Let the lesson become your strength. And number four, find the way. Use what you've learned, use the strength, use what you forged to create the breakthrough. That is the ultimate framework for breaking through to the next level. Think about it. This is how grit turns obstacles into advantages, and how you can take the same environment that's killing everybody else and use it to turbocharge your breakthrough into the next level. I once coached a GSM that was getting crushed by turnover. Every single employee exit was a wall. And it was defeating him. It was just crushing him. And he didn't know what to do until he did exactly what we're talking about. I shared with him this framework, and he leaned in and he started really looking and actually learning. He had to rebuild his onboarding process. He had to rebuild his accountability. And all of a sudden, something that was once a wall and a problem became his weapon. Now, he doesn't just retain people, he develops them faster than anyone else in his group. And the wall that used to break him has now become the very weapon that he uses to win. So let's turn insight into action. And I want you to identify one wall that you're facing right now. Is it a sales plateau? Maybe a disengaged employee? Maybe it's your own burnout. But whatever it is, I want you to dial that in and think, what is one wall that you're seeing right now? Now, ask yourself, what workout is this wall forcing me into? What weapon is this trying to hand me? Shift your perspective. The wall isn't there to stop you. It's there to sharpen you. War room leaders, the wall is not the end of the road. The wall is the way. The wall is the workout, and the wall is the weapon. Lean into it, train through it, arm yourself with it. And remember that this is how grit turns obstacles into advantages. And so when you go out today and you look at your store, and where you used to see walls that you would fight against, complain against, argue, I want you to stop and shift your mindset, run the framework, right? What's the wall? Then what's the work? What's the weapon? And what's the way? And all of a sudden you will find an energy and an excitement that it may not have been in you for years, because you'll have more than hope. You're going to have a pathway and a framework to turn walls into weapons. And with that, I encourage you to go out today, create some leadership fire, and I'll see you tomorrow in the Dealership War Room.